another big match on this one, and it was set up again with a promo last night. John Cena, Kevin Owens. Still no title on the line as of yet for this one.
Did this promo basically put Kevin Owens into best on promos for the year in the #1 slot right now?
I don't know who else would even be on my list.
Because there's nobody
WWE.
even close right now.
I mean, if we're just talking WWE, I mean, I would have to go with, right, Kevin Owens. Who else has been there?
That promo was so great because it folded in his real life into the sports entertainment universe.
Yeah.
And it kind of towed the line there, and it got legit heat, I think, from the crowd for the most part. You know, they finally woke up when Cena came out. And Cena gave out a great response, I thought.
Yeah, well, because John Cena came out like mad and upset, and he was furious at Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he needed to get into a groove there. It took him a few seconds because I didn't like the whole, I would have given this belt to you and called you but you're not a real man. I'm like, okay, that's a bit hokey. But then
that not real man just beat you last night.
Yeah.
You lost to a child? You lost to a half man? You lost to an immature brat?
Let me ask you something, because this has been a divisive thing. The child with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Exploitation or a good move on his part?
Or
both. Or both. It could be both.
Technically, it kind of is. Because, I mean, he was using it to get crowd reaction behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're using the kid there. Otherwise, you're just not mentioning it at all. But it was a cool moment for the kid. I mean, you could see, like, I don't know, was that his sister? Or it looked a little young to be his mom. Like, it looked like his sister probably there. That child that they pointed to with the I'm beating cancer sign. Like, they were tearing up. Like, this was a big moment because this child, who probably met John Cena before the show, was a Make-A-Wish most likely. He just got on TV. You know, his hero, John Cena, is pointing him out. It's a cool moment. The crowd's cheering for it. I mean, it's a little exploitive just because they put him on TV. But really, I mean, it's kind of a cool moment for the kid, and that's what the kid's going to remember. Like, the kid's going to be like, I was a focal point on Raw that one time, and that was a cool thing.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I think part of it for me, my pro wrestling mentality came into play while I was watching it. And I'm going, man, if they wanted really nuclear heat and never wanted Kevin Owens to be a face again.
No, you can't do it.
You know what I'm thinking, though. I'm not going to say it because it's completely cruel, but it's entertainment. And then eventually, you know, all heels in WWE, once they become popular heels, they get turned into faces. And then that's when they, you know, start generating a lot of revenue. But if they ever wanted to just say Kevin Owens will never be a face in this company, they could have turned him on the kid.
I think it was completely.
But this may have been Cena's best promo of the year. I know he's done a lot of really good ones. This may have been his best, I think.
Well, he was intense. I mean, he's not coming out there playing the jokes. He's everything in pro wrestling is exploitive. Everything in a lot of forms of entertainment is exploitive. But I mean, I thought it was a powerful segment. Whether you
the loss meant something to him, though.
The loss meant something,
and this is kind of a first, because in the Rusev program, the losses, they didn't really mean all that much to him. This one it did, and you could tell.
And the promos reversed the roles a little bit, because leading up to the first match, Kevin Owens was telling John Cena, okay, don't make these promises to all these people because I'm going to expose that as a lie, and he did. And now John Cena is the one telling Kevin Owens not to make promises, because Kevin Owens out here is making the promise that he is going to beat John Cena again.
Yeah, there's a hint of that, almost the Chris Jericho character when he came back wearing the suit, doing what he called the Anton Chigurh homage.
The second Shawn Michaels program.
Yeah, the second Shawn Michaels program, where he's calling him kind of a fraud that doesn't live up to his word and whatnot. There's a hint of that kind of passive aggressiveness here. But I that promo, as I tweeted our buddy Warren, I go, I hooted during that promo.
Well,
that was such a great promo.
It's cool too, because you bring up now on the main roster Kevin Owens and the fact that he has this son, and if people want to know more about that, they can kind of watch NXT, or they can go back through the history of Kevin Owens, which is cool. But he has a son that he's talking about on national TV that is a big John Cena fan.
Yes.
So now you're looking at this guy, and kids are thinking, okay, this guy is so bad that his own son doesn't even like him. Like, his son likes John Cena more.
Well, it's not that. I loved the reasoning. I love the reasoning that, well, John Cena was on TV all these years.
Yep.
I wasn't.
Right.
That makes me less than you, John, and that's not true. That is such a great, I'm a bad guy, but I'm legitimate in why I'm angry, and it's not just scenery chewing evilness. It's
Yeah.
I have a chip on my shoulder. It's great, so great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the match, but as we talked about on our Chamber post show is, if you have a clean finish to Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins with little, if none, interference from anybody, and you have a clear Money in the Bank winner, like I could almost see the Authority interference being in that Money in the Bank match and not the world title ladder match, as they focus a little bit of the anti-authority stuff on Roman Reigns. But this is the one, John Cena, Kevin Owens. You already had the clean finish at Elimination Chamber. You could do the dirty finish here and keep this program going so Kevin Owens doesn't get a loss and John Cena still doesn't get his win back. You can do the dirty, weird finish here.
Yeah, or he could, he could bail and be less of a man and just beat him up, or he could do the tap out real quick and then beat him up afterwards. There are a number of things you can do here, and now that he's on the main roster, you have to keep him strong. You can't just beat him and he'll be off of TV for a few months and come back for revenge. He's going to be on there every week now.
So you have Kevin Owens, who's the NXT champion, fully fledged on the main roster here in a program with John Cena, working WWE house shows and not really going to be back in NXT for much anytime soon, minus some TVs and maybe a house show here and there. But we have tonight at the SmackDown tapings airing this Thursday, Kevin Owens defending the NXT title in an NXT Championship Open Challenge. And the question I have for you, Jeff, is do we see a WWE competitor challenge for this championship? Do we see someone from the NXT roster debut or appear on SmackDown to challenge for this? Or do they get the title off of Kevin Owens tonight with Samoa Joe?
I don't think they get the title off of him with Samoa Joe, even though he signed the contract. I can't see them debuting Owens in such a strong way and then debuting Samoa Joe and having him beat him. Right. That's just not good. I am going to say that because of the crossover as well, Zack Ryder comes out and gets destroyed by Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that way too. I'm thinking a WWE guy like Heath Slater or Zack Ryder, or maybe even a Tyson Kidd.
Slater would be great here too. Slater
has tried so hard. Yeah. Slater has tried so hard to be in the U.S. Championship challenges and always fails. So now he finally gets his chance, and it's the NXT title, but he still fails. He gets
go down to NXT, baby.
Right. I like if I had to put money on it, I think it would be a Zack Ryder or a Heath Slater, like one of those two, or someone like that. I can even see a Tyson Kidd. He's not in the tag picture at the moment, full fledged. So, and he has some NXT ties. You can put Tyson Kidd in that role.
Well, it also gives Zack Ryder the continuity because he's appeared on NXT television the past couple weeks.
Yeah, and he's going to be on NXT TV coming up here too. Yeah, you could do that. And one of the things I don't think it would be Samoa Joe, because you're right, it would be very weird for Samoa Joe, especially if he won clean against Kevin Owens. Like, okay, now he's back to NXT, and here we are, Kevin Owens, who just lost to this guy, challenging John Cena, who he just beat. It's also out of context to NXT TV, because Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens already taped stuff for what they're going to do on the show. So it wouldn't seem to make too much sense for that. I mean, I see him going into Money in the Bank still the NXT champion. June 18th is the next NXT TV. I can see Kevin Owens lose it there. Not even wait until the next TakeOver special. Like just lose it at TV, maybe get the match with Finn Balor, and maybe you have Finn Balor and Samoa Joe in a program leading up to TakeOver. Yeah,
the only guy you could have him lose that NXT belt to on this SmackDown taping is unavailable due to injury, and that'd be Sami Zayn. Because then you could tie in the Cena story along with it.
And you could do everything. You can tie in Cena, and that's another option that you would have if they want to get the belt off of him tonight, and bring a little prestige, if you will, to NXT, or a little notoriety to NXT for the network, is have John Cena be the reason why Kevin Owens loses tonight.
Yeah, but he's not going to. He's not going to lose the belt. So
SmackDown is in Houston, Texas, and John Cena is not advertised for the show. So John Cena probably not going to be there at all.